In our life, every thread is a blessing from our God. The biblical passage from the book of Numbers, "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace." This beautiful verse encapsulates the essence of God's blessings. They are his gifts to us, expressions of his divine favor and protection, meant to enrich our lives and guide us on our spiritual journey. These blessings are like the sun, always shining, always pouring out their warmth and light. But as with the sun, we can sometimes block out these blessings. Imagine standing under a tree, the leaves and branches obscuring the sunlight. We are the tree, and our doubts, fears, and insecurities are the leaves and branches that block out God's blessings. However, sometimes we ourselves become barriers to these blessings. Our actions and attitudes often act as barriers, blocking the flow of God's blessings. Just as a dam can obstruct the course of a mighty river, our negative dispositions and misguided actions can hinder the abundance of blessings meant for us. Consider the biblical story of the Israelites wandering in the desert. Their lack of faith and constant grumbling against Moses and God became a barrier to their blessing, prolonging their journey to the promised land from 40 days to 40 years. Similarly, in the New Testament, the Pharisees' self-righteous attitudes and refusal to recognize Jesus as the Messiah blocked them from receiving the blessings of his teachings and miracles. But it's not just attitudes. Our actions can also become barriers. As stated in James chapter 2, verse 17, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. This means, if we claim to have faith but our actions do not reflect it, we are essentially blocking blessings that could flow into our lives. And let's not forget about the parable of the talents in Matthew chapter 25. The servant who buried his talent in the ground out of fear and laziness missed out on the master's blessing. His action, or rather inaction, became a barrier to his blessing. But remember, these barriers are not permanent and can be overcome. Overcoming these barriers requires reflection, understanding, and change. In our daily lives, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. But to truly open ourselves to God's blessings, we must take a step back, reflect on our actions and attitudes, and identify the barriers that might be blocking the flow of divine grace. Reflection is the first step towards understanding. Consider the story of the prodigal son from the Gospel of Luke. He strayed from his path, but it was through reflection and understanding his mistakes that he was able to return home and receive his father's blessings. Understanding is the key that unlocks the door to change. In the book of Romans, Paul encourages us to transform by the renewal of our minds. This means altering our perspectives, attitudes, and actions that might be hindering God's blessings in our lives. Change, though it may seem daunting, is the ultimate pathway to receiving God's blessings. The book of Isaiah tells us to forget the former things and not dwell on the past. God wants us to change, to grow, to evolve, to become the best versions of ourselves. So, let's embrace reflection, foster understanding, and welcome change. These are not just spiritual exercises, but a way of life that paves the way for divine blessings. By making these changes, you can ensure that you are open and receptive to God's blessings. God's blessings are always there, waiting for us to receive them. We're at the tail end of our discussion, and we've covered a lot of ground. We've explored the profound power of blessings and the joy they can bring into our lives. We've also dived into the barriers that can prevent us from receiving these gifts. And most importantly, we've looked at ways to overcome these obstacles. It's crucial to remember that every moment is an opportunity to be open to God's blessings. We must ensure that we are not the ones blocking these blessings, but rather are actively inviting them into our lives. It's all about maintaining a positive, receptive state of mind and heart. Thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with others who might benefit from this message. Remember, you have the power to receive God's blessings. Don't let anything stand in your way. God bless you.